So house hacking, we all want to talk about the pros, but we don't want to talk about the cons. The pros are awesome, but I also have experienced firsthand some of the cons of house hacking. So if you don't know what house hacking is, I'll link a video down in the description. I did a whole video on it, but in simplest terms, it's where you acquire property, you rent out either a unit in the property or rooms in the property to cover the mortgage, and in turn you get to live for free or possibly even profit from owning the property. So what I did is I bought a duplex, I lived in half, I rented out the other half, and it pretty much covered my entire mortgage. So what I did is I bought a duplex, I lived in half, I rented out the other half, and that rent covered pretty much my entire mortgage. So in turn, I got to live for free.
It's free real estate.
And be able to save my money up for my next real estate deal. But today is a special day. At the time this video is being recorded, it's actually my birthday. So all I ask for my birthday gift is smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, comment down below. It really does help my YouTube channel, helps push it out to the YouTube algorithm. I got a lot in store, a lot planned. I want to start going out, doing some more creative videos, some challenges, stock challenges, real estate challenges, all that stuff, trying out new things. But I want to grow this subscriber base. That way we have, a nice base, to start doing that kind of things. Give me some more motivation to go out and do that stuff. But right now we're providing a lot of value. Some of the mistakes I've made along the way, my successes, my strengths, my weaknesses, and everything that I've learned so far, investing in real estate, stock market, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, enough with the talking. Cue the intro. So house hacking, in my opinion, is probably the best way to get into real estate. It was the first property I owned, I house hacked. It was not the first real estate deal I did. The first real estate deals I did were actually wholesale deals. I'll link that down in the description as well. That's another way you can get into real estate with little to no money. You basically can get in, do real estate deals with no money out of your own pocket. You can build up some money to maybe buy your own real estate. And house hacking is a way you can live in a property and really not put down a lot of money. And also make sure you subscribe, because I also have another way you can acquire real estate, and it's more of a way you actually own the real estate in a way, and you make a lot of money, and this can be a very, very profitable way. So I'm constantly looking and researching creative real estate ways. So the more tools we can get in our toolbox, you come across properties, you're going to have a solution on how you can make that work or make that a deal. So if we have only one way of going about it, we're going to limit ourselves a lot. So in this channel, we're going to cover all the creative ways we can acquire real estate with very little money. Even if you have a lot of money, I'm going to show you how you can really acquire real estate and not have to use your money. You can use other people's money, or be able to finesse ways to just be in property with very little money. So the pros of house hacking, of course, is you get to live for free. It's awesome. You're getting your mortgage paid for. I actually had to pay, I think, 150 bucks. So $150 once my rent covered my mortgage and everything. I had to pay 150, but hey, where can you rent a place for $150? I'm sure you can, but you're probably going to be living in a tent, so I'm not going to test my luck. I was living in a pretty nice property, 3-bed, 1.5 bath, and I was living in it alone. So more than I needed, but I was looking long term because I knew I wasn't going to be living in that property forever. Now I rent that property out and I make $1,200 a month profit from owning the property and renting out both sides. Another pro of house hacking is you're also paying down an asset. You're paying that mortgage every single month that's really not out of your own pocket. The way I look at it is one side of my duplex kind of pays the mortgage, is paying down my mortgage. The other side is just my kind of profits that I can play around with and roll it into other real estate. But after 30 years, this property is going to be paid off, and it's also going to appreciate. So it's going to be worth more than what I bought it. So I'm going to be sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars in 30 years when this thing's paid off.
Dollar bills, y'all.
And if I want to access money from the property, I can always open up a home equity line of credit. I can have access to money in the property that I've already paid off to help me acquire more deals and leverage my money. So those are the pros. It's just endless on the pros. I could keep going on, but those are the main ones. I mean, you're living for free, you're paying your mortgage down, you have an asset, and you're in with very little money. I mean, it's a great situation, but we also have to look at the cons of house hacking and what I've experienced firsthand on the negative side of the whole process.
Bro, I'm straight up not having a good time.
So the first con that I could think of from house hacking is you are very close to your tenants. So you also have to keep in mind, they're not just your tenants, but they're actually your neighbors. So let's say they're really loud.
So if you could maybe just sometimes
keep it down,
and they keep the yard trashed, you're not only dealing with a bad neighbor, but you're also dealing with a bad tenant. So it kind of puts you in a bad spot. So you are taking a risk. So that's why I think it's important when you're getting a tenant in there, make sure you do your due diligence, do a little bit of research, make sure you do a thorough background, and you get a good tenant in there that hopefully is going to take care of the property and not be loud, not trash your property, and not be a bad neighbor at the same time. Who wants a bad neighbor and tenant all in one? And the way I look at it too is you don't want them to be a bad neighbor, but also you can't be a bad neighbor yourself. I wasn't able to throw wild parties or have big events at my place because I had to respect my tenants. I got really good tenants in there. They paid early every single month. They took really good care of the property. They would let me know if anything was going wrong in the property and just didn't let it go and turn into a bigger problem. So I really had a lot of respect for them because they were really good tenants. So I wanted to keep them and I wanted to keep them happy. So in turn, I tried, I didn't have big parties or people over because I wanted to be a good neighbor to them as well. That way I can keep that tenant and they can continue to renew year after year and live in the property for a long period of time. But there's a happy medium to that. You don't want to be necessarily friends with your tenants. So just because they're your neighbor, maybe if you're renting, you might become friends with them and talk to them, hang out with them, sit out back, have a beer, or just chat. But you have to keep it more of a business relationship. And I know it sounds kind of harsh, but you kind of have to, because I actually came across a lot of landlords when I was wholesaling real estate. And I still do run some wholesale campaigns for off-market properties, and a lot of situations that you run into are people that either are renting to people that they got emotionally attached to and kind of never raised their rent over 30 years, or they fell into hard times and they kind of help them out. You see that a lot with family members as well and friends. So I definitely don't recommend you renting to family members or friends, because you're going to have an emotional relationship with them. You're not going to have a business relationship. You're going to want to help them out if they're in a bad situation, and that puts you in a bad spot. So don't put yourself in a bad spot. So do your due diligence, find a good tenant, and then if you are house hacking and living next to them or they are your neighbor, be friendly, of course, but still try to keep that business relationship.
Because I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman.
That way you don't get, emotional if they run into some problems and you end up screwing yourself over in the end. And I'm more of a giver than a taker, but I had to kind of just shut that down when it comes to real estate and investing, because it has to be strictly business. Because if you start to, give people the benefit of the doubt, you're going to get taken advantage of. Maybe not every time, but over time, eventually you're going to get taken advantage of. So keep that relationship a business relationship, but still be friendly.
hello, neighbor.
The next and the last con that I really could think of, now there are more cons, smaller things, but this is really groups them all together, and that is you are now a landlord. And if you were like me, this was the first property I actually owned and first property I was a landlord for. So I was kind of double dipping. So the way I looked at it is I basically was taking on two houses at once. So that could be double the problems, double the things or chance that things go wrong. So you are taking on a little bit of responsibility, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you what you need to do in order for that not to become overwhelming. Now, I myself, I'm not the most handy person. I can fix things. I'll fix things around my house, but if a tenant calls me and needs something fixed, I don't want to go over there, realize, oh, I can't fix this, and then have to send someone else over. It just is not a good look. You just want things to be quick and efficient. That's why I think it's important to contact or find a local handyman or several that can come out and fix random things. I've got a contractor that's great. He's a contractor, but he also likes doing little things and little fixes. So if I have something wrong, he knows plumbing, electric, any of that.
This kid can do it all.
So I can send him out to the property and he'll get it taken care of. And don't be cheap with this, okay? Don't pay someone, barely any money. You pay them what they ask. Make sure, because if they're getting paid, a good amount, they're going to want to be prompt. They're going to want to do a good job. That way they can keep getting business from you in the future. I think it's important when you have a good tenant in there. If something's wrong, I like to get it taken care of within the hour if I could, but within 24 hours or as fast as possible. I think that's important to show that you care, that you're going to get it taken care of if they run into problems. If you can't fix it yourself, you've got to have a good relationship with that handyman or contractor, whoever's coming over doing that work for you. That way they get over there prompt, quickly, and they do a good job and are professional around your tenants. And really, you can get stressed out and let it stress you out, but I promise you it's not that bad. You're really just taking a phone call and then making another phone call, letting them know what's going on, and they're going to know how to fix it and how to have a solution to the problem. But overall, like I said, if you've house hacked yourself or think of anything else that I missed, please comment down below. That way, if I ever make an updated video or add more to this, I can add that in. But I think regardless, the advice for house hacking that I would give is just do it. All right?
Just do it.
I have had a great experience. I've had things go wrong. We can talk about that. My first year, what went wrong, the costs, expenses, all that. But overall, it's been a great experience, and I recommend it for anyone to do. Get you off to a great start financially, or if, like I said, you're in the middle of life, it gives you a nice boost to anybody financially. And if you want to get into real estate investing, it is a phenomenal way to get started with very little money. But like I said, on this channel, we'll talk about how to get into real estate with very little money. I can't wait to share a new strategy that I just came across. I think it's pretty cool. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe button, comment down below. Until next time, peace.